financial gain involved, especially if these lessons involve contracts. Welcome back to the channel, guys. As we get started with your reading, I do hope all is well. I encourage you guys to just stop. Whatever you're doing, take a seat. Hopefully you're not driving. If you are, that's fair. Don't look at the screen. But take a deep breath, okay? Breathe in, breathe out. Whatever was going on before you started the video, let it go. Tune in, focus, okay, on the words being provided to y'all. Now, if you're new to the channel, what a treat. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you stay. Check the description box. There's a lot of information about me, my channel, tarot, the products and services that I provide, a link to my Etsy store, as well as our membership platform. And speaking of members, all of my subscribers, you guys are appreciated for your continued support. Check out the store. We have the merch, and the community board is where I post a lot of the updates, alerts, and events. So as we get started, I like to do an introduction. I've implemented like the pick a card to the beginning of the reading to get a better understanding of these cards. And we'll go ahead and get started. The first card we have out could talk about reflection. It could talk about time. It could talk about contemplation, some investments, where you're investing your time or your focus, honey. Or maybe for some of you you're walking away from something or walking to something more specifically. There's this energy of investments, patience, payoff, okay? Your discernment for some of you to get to this 8 of Cups, we had to surpass that 7 of Cups. So the confusion, the chaos, it could be something as simple as someone giving you false promises or waiting on something to change that doesn't. It could also talk about those of you headed up this mountain, on your journey and being, focused, and the perseverance required from whatever it feels like to go up a mountain. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever went up a mountain, but I done walked up a hill or two. And depending on where you are, sometimes it's easier to say, shit, I'll just go back, And others of you, the higher you are up, there could be fears if you're looking down. So you're being asked to stop looking back. However, when I see this undetermined, I actually saw underdetermined for some, where you have to push. You got to push. But also this grace of being patient with yourself. So don't overdo it. Okay, definitely if some of you are going up and down some stairs, this could be like, take your time. Okay, we have doubtful, of course, and proceed. And do you see the different levels of this? Okay, whatever you think is over, it might be, might not be. There's some doubt here. And then there's some assurance, reassurance. And then there's this easy moving, okay? So we'll start with the 7 of Pentacles. I wanted to jump to that 8 of Cups because it stood out from the rest of the cards, where the 7 of Pentacles talks about timing, reflection, this period where you have an opportunity to kind of like get things together, or you've already done the work and you're, looking at your investments. Was it worth it? Your self-worth, the worth of the relationship, or whatever. But the 7 of Pentacles upright talks about perseverance, contemplation, and investments. For some of you with this doubtful energy, it could talk about nervousness, a lack of vision, and postponement. So it could be some delays, all right? The 7 of Pentacles shows a beautiful flower that has bloomed out of hard work and perseverance. Long-term investments lead to growth and prosperity. It's a good omen. The 7 of Pentacles shows you understand the importance of investing time and energy to achieve long-term results. You have learned how to prioritize your attention and are not looking for shortcuts to achieve your goals. With this mindset, results may come slower, but they are well-earned and, more importantly, sustainable. Try to avoid becoming anxious as you wait to bear witness to fruits of your labor. Now we move into the 8 of Cups in reverse. And it talks about one more shot, material success. In the Eight of Cups, we see a clear path leading toward a mountain, moving away from what no longer serves the seeker, you, or someone in your environment. The path appears illuminated by the night sky, guiding them to the mountaintop where new opportunities await. The fact that this escape is happening in the evening suggests some level of discomfort or avoidance. Okay? Allow this card to grant you permission to leave behind the things in your life that have begun to weigh you down. There is great joy to be found in the unknown, although you may not have once found immense gratification in this area of your life. You are now experiencing a deep dissatisfaction. Give yourself the gift of happiness and find the courage to seek something new. Okay? And look, hoarders, those of you that are moving or traveling, where it talks about delays and details, this just says travel light. And I know that because it touched on, for some of us, this is uncomfortable, especially for those of you on your journey. You've been at it alone, relocating, or something about your home life, could even be your emotions when it comes to relationships. But you may take great pride in what you have because maybe you didn't have much of it. And maybe, the King of Cups on his journey has to overcome some of those fears and learning to let go and trusting the process, right? Trust that there will be more provided, especially for things that are weighing you down. And I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now, where it feels like spring cleaning in the autumn. All right. So here we get to the King of, or the Knight. Some of y'all might be the King, honey. We get to the Knight of Pentacles, which talks about the paying attention to details and the slow and steady winning the race, and also a confirmation that you may not get the swiftest results, but yours are going to mean the most and kind of like last the longest. Okay. Now, as we look into this Knight here of Pentacles, it talks about practicality, trustworthiness, and endurance. The Knight of Pentacles is thoughtful. Rather than moving hurriedly to finish line, they prefer to weigh their options thoroughly, developing a well thought out plan of action. The pentacle remains wedged in place until the Knight is ready to proceed. A person of great endurance, they are willing to do what it takes to achieve their goals, even if the work becomes tedious. So that's for those small things, and choosing your battles. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles is the most dedicated and methodical character in the deck. Taking the spark of imagination from the page, the Knight moves to make these dreams a reality. Sometimes the work that is necessary is dull, repetitive, or feels useless. The Knight of Pentacles serves as a reminder that you are on the right track. With a steadfast determination and an even-keeled temperament, you will achieve what it is you set out to do. Absolutely love that. See? Doubtful. Of course, proceed. So that is your energy. It's like as you keep going, I feel the signs are going to keep coming to you, and you can use this reading as confirmation. Definitely love that. We will still do the pick a card at the end of the reading for the more personalized experience. And now we're going to go ahead and get started. I do hope that all is well in your lives. This is like hump day, right? So let me give you some news that you can use with the Hierophant. At the bottom of the deck, something being revealed. Oh, your beliefs. Somebody's feeling stuck. All right. And the Knight of Wands. Okay. So this kind of piggybacks off of the intro. Whether you're in a relationship or this is like your living conditions, same thing. The Hangman feels stuck, waits, and kind of submits to the fire. So this is that persevering through the burn of walking up the hill. The Knight of Wands would be that burn. So sometimes it's that burn that gets us moving, that pulls us through. And sometimes it's that burn that takes us out, where you have to kind of like surrender. So just depending on where you are in the journey, that kind of says a lot. Because this is crossing the Hangman. Now, I'm a storyteller, so if I think about the Hangman just kind of waiting there, it's like a pawn almost. And the Knight of Wands would be this more warrior energy that's like the hunter, right? And the Hangman would be one hunted. I encourage you guys to use this as motivation to kind of shift your energy, because whatever it is you're waiting on, the answers are within. I'm getting that shaman, energy, the hermit energy, where something is being held back or you're holding back. And the Knight of Wands, like I said, is still, either way you want to look at it, the Knight of Wands is the spark of inspiration. So as the book talked about a spark of inspiration from the page going into this this Knight of Pentacles energy, this requires balance, because this is kind of moving too fast, not paying attention to the details, not caring, no commitment, just kind of like running around raggedy. And this is like waiting on the perfect time. This is a risk taker. This is a waiter. And so there needs to be some type of balance here. Okay. Now, in the center of the reading, we have, as I talked about, the King of Cups going up that mountain. And the Ten of Swords talks about this information or the advice that you seek. Notice that I'm waiting on some type of information. This is also a confirmation that the worst is a matter of the past. So you don't have to carry the load. You don't have to wait. Some of you guys, if this is waiting on information from a person, I wouldn't. Because in the end, you may feel deceived. Or these lips are sealed. Kind of like that High Priestess energy. So where we had the Hierophant on one end, we have this High Priestess energy on the other end, which definitely confirms the answers that you seek or within. Whatever the situation is, if it involves others outside of you, you know the truth. This is like following your gut and trusting your intuition and take action. All right. But the King of Cups is the lesson. And you watch enough tarot to know, or at least my channel, that the King of Cups learns contentment, doing with, doing without, integrity, morals, ethics, things that matter, overcoming addictions and fears, obsessions and stuff like that, and then moving forward, because the King of Cups kind of has some trust issues. That's why he's so controlling. Could be a little bit manipulative because he's smooth, or she, But it's kind of like, I only want to control everything and fix everything and do it all myself, because there's this fear of the unknown. I don't know if they can do it. I don't know if I can do it on my own. But the answer is that you can. All right. Now, when I look into the past, that tells me more about this spiritual lesson that you're going through. I did just see the Hierophant again, but I have the Magician. So if this is a relationship, Cujo is definitely not the soulmate. Okay. Definitely let that go. So you came here for confirmation. They haven't committed yet. You holding on to it for dear life. They probably find you to be a little bit emotionally overbearing. I take it that this person is a little less emotional. Kind of like a prize. You see this person as somebody you really, really like. It's probably why you don't want to let go. Where am I going to find another one of them? But the King of Cups just fears moving on. This person isn't really that special. It's just the thrill of the hunt. I have put a lot of energy into this. I have invested much of my time into this. And there's a need to kind of trust yourself and move along. Now, others of you going through this process, getting out of this King of Cup energy, where you are the Magician, it's like that is your source pushing you out of your comfort zone to clear your subconscious from attracting things that are not for your betterment, that are not for you along your path. And so things that may come up to the surface are revealed to you for you to make adjustments. All right. Crowning you, we have the Three of Cups. Now, I like that. What helps the King of Cups with this contentment is that he has or she has that subconscious, unconscious, and super consciousness. So your connection to the divine, your connection to reality, and that connection to the unknown are working together. This is why you should trust yourself. This is why you should listen to your hunches and your guts, whatever the case may be. And for those of you dealing with relationships, this just confirms that this Knight of Wands ain't really ready for where you trying to take things. And you're waiting on, I feel, a connection that could be going in any direction, okay? And you know that. The Knight of Wands and the Three of Cups and one reading with the King of Cups is really landed on thick, but I don't want to trigger you, okay? The Eight of Cups coming up in the reading, I would have suspected the Queen of Cups, but the King of Cups just says that you are very strong and dominant. So this could even be for a male water sign or for a very dominant female. And it doesn't have to be a water sign, but somebody that's really in tune to a consciousness. So your consciousness or your emotions, okay? Now, going in this position where you are now, which the reading is asking you to persevere, to move forward, to come out of it, or to keep going, because somebody feels stuck, okay? Now, I'm going to, look at the Two Cups. See, that's what you're on your way to. And it's like, oh, look, with the Lovers. So that could have been our near future experience, but we'll take one card to see, taking the advice in this reading, where are you headed? The High Priestess. Okay. The High Priestess and the Magician, that's a spiritual connection. That is divine timing. This is one who has the capacity to create anything they want, as the Magician has all of the aces, okay? The High Priestess has all of the answers. And it's like when these two energies link up, they are very unstoppable. So I definitely love that. The challenging aspect about, it looks like some of you are in separation, is the Ten of Cups. So someone could, and I'm looking at 13 cups, so it talks about endings and somebody still wrapping up matters of the past. You may still be wrapping up matters of the past. This also talks about brain activity. And the Magician talks about the illusion of it all, okay? So some of it could be an illusion. For others of you, it could be fact. But there's this reconnecting. So something is being created and reconnected. I feel that this is not the situation that you came into the reading looking for. I feel like this is the energy that you had coming into the reading. And this looks to be the outcome as the King of Cups continues to go up that mountain, okay? Now the environment, the Seven of Cups, a little bit of confusion, multiple offers, not knowing which one to take, and look at that. Some of you in this reading are not walking away from that energy, and you should. I don't care if this is the details in purchasing a home, starting a business, starting your business at your home, a relationship, your personal life, or a decision of any sort. You have what it takes. And I think you realize that. You may have even gotten started with it a little bit. But here it's like this waiting or this surrender. For some of you guys where it's like frustration, surrender to it. Surrender to it because it'll pass. It's like the Magician is causing this confusion and the Knight of Wands is chaos. So it's like chaos and confusion. It's being created through some of your subconscious. Okay, on a subconscious level. In your hopes and fears, I did see the Ten of Wands. We have the Six of Wands here. So this is the awareness. And so this is Seven Wands. And Seven Wands talks about blocks. So blocks are being removed, okay? Like the road opener. The Magician. The Knight of Wands kind of takes off. If there were any blocks in his or her way, there's definitely going to be a workaround found because it's like I'm unstoppable. And with the Six of Wands, it's like even this energy of resistance. So some of you guys that are going through this awakening, right? Your person could be resisting the awakening. You could be resisting the awakening. And if I think about the feminine and masculine aspects or the conscious and the subconscious aspects, this Magician has the 10 cups. This is the full house. Whereas the High Priestess has just the 3 cups. And it's like less is more. This is the connection that you may seek. But this, I feel like, is more of a personal experience that repeats itself. And there's a lesson within that to come out of that repetition. Okay? Well, that came out easy. Focus on the future. The Three of Wands talks about looking forward to the future. Some of us may be stuck in the past. And didn't I say that this repetition of this, half-ass story? Because I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune. But this is just like half the wheel. And when I think about like North Node and South Node, this is like going back and forth here. And causing some type of confusion. So if you're going back and forth with ideas, if you're going back and forth in relationships, if you're going back and forth with just things that repeat themselves, situations, if you notice from your social media accounts that you were doing some of the same things right now that you may have done this time last year, or, each month, however you want to look at it, there's definitely some repetition, and I feel like you have been kind of consumed with the frustration or with the confusion that you hadn't really saw the lesson. And the benefit is there is no darkness, over you causing this. This is just your subconscious mind steadily trying to show you the things that need to be released for you to move forward. And until they're released, you meet people that kind of have the same personalities. You'll have jobs that have the same outcomes. You'll have projects that seem to have the same outcomes. Hell, you may even notice the same shit on TV. Okay? But we have the Fool card here, which talks about a new beginning. After these adjustments are made, and I feel like new offers coming in, there's also this need to be realistic, because I know the Page of Cups is this fantasy dreamland. All right? Now, as we look at this Hangman with the Three of Wands, it's like the future is hanging over your head, honey. Or being a slave even to the energy of others. Because now I'm thinking about the Knight of Wands holding this stick over the horse and kind of like tricking them into some shit. Okay? We have the Four of Swords, which talks about using your logic. All right? It also talks about rest and recovery. The Knight of Wands with the Six of Wands, we have the Mother of Cups. So again, this could be affecting your subconscious. This is definitely for those of you that have gifts and abilities, psychic awareness. It also talks about the empaths, the essential workers are going to be rewarded because this pandemic is cutting, a lot out of society, which is going to give the underdog or the slow bloomers, the late bloomers, I feel an advantage in, such a fast-paced modern technology and, whatever. I like that though. Chicken for dinner. That wasn't right. And it's lamb anyway. So here we have the King of Cups under this illusion when he gets his shit together. Look at that high super intelligence with his Father of Swords that sets this boundary and sticks to it, strategic and planning. So some of you guys get confused when it comes to decision making and details. And it's like, I have this idea about what I want to do, but at the same time, I get frustrated or confused in the analytical parts of it. Others of you that could be dealing with water sign or an air sign, air and water is like this hurricane, so we talk about confusion. And we have had a lot of that happen in certain regions for the collective. By Mother Nature, honey, it's going to swoop some motherfuckers up. So just be careful to not go that way. Because I know you see it. I ain't just make it up. It ain't came out of nowhere. We got Mother Nature right here asking you to raise your awareness in this, pandemic. Because this hangman or these people that's kind of like out, stuck in limbo, in the in-between, gonna get souped up. Okay, we don't want that, whatever souped up means. Now with the Magician here and the Ten of Cups, I have the Lovers. So look, what is that? The birds go south for the winter. We getting into winter time, so I wonder why the birds go south for the winter. Because this one going this way, this one looking straight. And they headed into something. So we're going to see what that something is with these Three of Cups. And that High Priestess, we have the Son of Cups. So this is that offer that I said comes after the perseverance, okay? This also talks about your ability to move forward with what matters to you, living your true self. Because the high priestess, the magician, however you want to look at it, that is true self. Okay? Headed into this this potential. And then I was going to say we got 2 4s, but I just feel that there's a definite need to not be wrapped up in chaos. Don't be, well, I think that's why we have this pandemic, because somebody had a plan, honey. And I don't think that plan is working out too well, because now we are kind of like in shelter. You know, we're in the house. We are spending more time on getting licensed in certain areas. A lot of you guys are taking classes online or thinking about it, starting your businesses. So you have other focuses. Now, if you look at what you're doing now and a couple of years ago, I'm absolutely sure that your focus has shifted from those sad, rinky-dinky relationships we talked about when I started this channel. And now I've spoken to so many of you that are writing books and starting businesses and taking courses, or you have gone through the healing process and that aspect has been completed, where you have this new beginning. And like I said, the world kind of slowed down for you. Now, others that are still kind of dealing with this energy, that are kind of chaotic and kind of fighting and kind of sad and, you know, kind of just all over the place, dealing with addiction, scared of everything, can't make a decision. I feel like those are the ones that may get caught up in this ringer. Okay. What else we got here? The spider wanted to come out so bad, which talks about prosperity. Creating your own look. Creating your own future and your own fortune. Let me put that over here because it don't even go in this deck. But creating your own future and your own fortune by being logical about the steps that you take moving forward in the future. Be very logical. All right. Now here we are. You got the Daughter of Cups, which is like the Page of Cups. Some things are very unrealistic. And the far-fetchedness, I feel, comes from the confusion. And it's like you have this great imagination that could be used toward creative projects, that could be used as daily motivation, you know, for those of you starting channels or starting businesses or whatever. But this illusion, this fairy tale, this trust in everybody, and also, on another note, there's a need to stay busy, because if you are in this idle time, they say it's the devil's workshop. And look, we could have the devil right here with this flame, you know. So stay busy, stay active mentally, keep track of where you are, you know. And for my inputs here with this Mother of Cups, we have the Ace of Cups. So it talks about your divinity. It talks about what feels good to you. It talks about the self. It talks about your subconscious. And I had to do that the other day. So I'm glad that I'm not glad. The shit actually pissed me off sometimes. But sometimes I'll go through things, and when I hear them come up in readings that come from the cards, not from me, it's like so that I could better explain, right? So if you are an empath with this Mother of Cups right here, and let's say you emotional and you don't know why, or you sad and you don't know why, or you get mad at some old shit that you had already been mad about before, and it's like creeping back up. That is an indication that your focus is shifting and you are no longer in control of your thoughts, because you already accepted that thing didn't work, you know. Or even, and not to be funny or trigger anybody, I'm serious. If you lost a loved one and you kind of accepted that, you know, whatever the case, this happened, and, you know, I'm going to try to go in stride. I'm going to try to move forward. But then you have crying spells a week later, a day later. It just says a lot to why is this resurfacing? There we go. I had to plug it back up. So just be mindful of repetition. Okay, if you accept something Monday, you shouldn't be crying about it next Saturday. or the next year, the same time. It's kind of redundant. Now with the Father of Swords and this King of Cups and the Seven of Cups, for sure this is clarity. And it's like take action immediately because you have high potential. This is also paying attention to the details and the messages, okay? Somebody is trying to deliver a message to you. I don't care if it's through the TV or whatever the case may be, but they're trying to get a message across to you, and so pay attention to it, right? Now, with the flying south, when I said these birds is smart and they following guidance, honey, here with the Lovers, that's Gemini energy. So very logical, analytical energy. It also talks about communication. And we have the Magician here with the Ten of Cups, okay? So the communication across the collective is, you know, to focus on essential businesses, to focus on healing, to focus on being grounded. And this mountain keeps coming up, honey. So we have the Three of Pentacles here. And I don't care if you plan on traveling to the mountains, honey. But the Three of Pentacles talks about creation and a foundation being set. Now, I also think about the Four of Pentacles with this little Page of Pentacles here and her mother. This is like wholeness. So coming into a union with like minds, you know, and soul tribes or whatever. All kind of shifting into one direction. And I don't care if it's energetically or physically. Now, with the Son of Cups, we have the Five of Pentacles. Okay? So this is unstable ground. This is agitation, and this is what happens. This is, oh, my luck. Down on my luck. Look at that Capricorn with the double here. Down on my luck. I'm upset. I'm frustrated. I'm looking at the glass half empty. And I'm going to pull another card for you guys with this Five of Pentacles right here. The Six of Cups and the Five of Wands. So this says that as you move forward, things will be provided to you. And it also says like the battle has already been won. But even more so, I'm seeing that your conflict here with this network, or with you getting your energy together, your emotions together, or figuring something out, it just shows here that there could be a battle, okay? A battle between dark and light, a spiritual war, honey. But it looks like the battle is your memories. So it's like you have to clear your subconscious out so that these painful memories you don't keep reliving these painful memories, okay? Because the Knight of Cups only brings you what's in your heart. And if you are experiencing things in your heart and it's being reflected into your awakened world that you don't like, then that's an area of improvement for you, okay? So that's what I got, and that makes total sense. And I know, depending on where you are, I think a lot of you are really far along, especially if you've been watching my channel. But I can tell you right now, somebody with, you know, at the beginning stages of this awakening, for me to say that your outer reality is reflecting you internally, that this Knight of Cups is presenting to you what's in the back of your mind. Some of you would say, fuck you. Like, that is not what's happening. But I can't make that up. And I didn't pick these cards out. I used 3, 4, 5 different decks here. And this is just reassurance that the law of attraction, what is within is without. And some people, you know, are living certain dreams and realities. And other people, they have dreams and imagination that supersede those other folks. But guess what the difference is? What's in their heart? What's in the back of their mind? What are their fears? So if you kind of fear never having enough, then this Knight of Cups, depending on how he feel that day, is going to bring you just that. Like not having enough. If you trust the unknown and move forward lightly, you know, then you are going to be provided for every step of the way, because you didn't have these fears to bring all these bags and all of these emotions and, oh my God, I can't do that because how I'm going to pay for that, and what about this and what about that? But if you look back in time, you may have never felt that you had enough. You always wondered what was going to happen in the future. And so logic says that you've gotten this far, you'll be fine. You've been fine this far, but if fine isn't enough and you want progress, then we have to release the negative ideas in the subconscious, in the back of your mind, and in your heart. So if you guys are not into meditation, okay, let me go ahead and get you started. So if you want to look into past life regression, I am going to be posting a lot of those videos and guided meditations to kind of walk you through it. And I'm also offering services depending on where you are. And we also will have some remote services available. And I'll keep you guys posted on the community board. If you're interested in just releasing some of the past from your person to live a new life, that is what I'm going to extend to you. So now, if you'd like this more personal, like I said, experience, go ahead and pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. And I am going to lay the cards out for you. Group 1, there is your card. Group 2, there is your card. Group 3, there is your card. And group 4, study. Definitely be a student of some sort. Learn something new. Start a new course. This also talks about expansion, mental expansion. So you have room to think differently. You have room to learn something else. An internship of some sort, but being a student. And it also talks about questions. Maybe you got a lot of questions, but the high priestess over here has the answers. You just have to connect. All right. And a lot of you kind of like are walking away from outdated beliefs and coming out of these twin flame soulmate situations. And it's like, I just want to know what the truth is. Well, the truth is inside, honey. Okay. Maybe some of you waiting on a letter or a message or something. Especially if it's like a child support battle, something like that. And maybe that's what you could use for this new beginning, honey. I don't know. But here we are. Group 1. You have the number 2, the 2 of Pentacles, which talks about change, inevitable. It also talks about the inability to see. Could also talk about some financial embarrassments, but for the most part, it's change. I don't care if it's quarters and like actual currency. But that's what you got. And what I like about this is like the divine is giving it to you. Whereas in the traditional, or well, not the traditional, in other decks, the divine only gives the aces. But it's like I'm handing you this 2 here. So it's kind of like raise your vibration, because you limit yourself with the frustration and the sadness or the aggravation. So use your logic. Group 2, you got the Empress, honey. Abundance, expectations, things being given to you, or your ability to receive. Okay, I like that. Receptivity, receiving this news. You may be receiving some news. Group 3, you guys got the 7 of Swords. A lot of information. Secrets. I think good secrets. Something happening in plain sight. And I think it got something to do with these flocks. So maybe we should pay attention to the birds or something like that. Because it's like the Son of Cups just seemed to be on his bullshit. And we don't want to be a part of that. All right, because this Son of Cups, it's like the Knight of Cups. You know, this is somebody who's like really charming and may come your way, but they hiding something. They're not telling you everything. And this could be a person, or this could be life. If life was the Knight of Cups right now, it's like this shit sound good, but I don't think it's the best bet. Okay, maybe a little different from what you're used to. And maybe you're being asked to step outside of your comfort zone into the unknown and follow your heart. However that resonates. That sounds more like right. To follow your heart and step out of your comfort zone into the unknown. I think there's something good that's going to be waiting there for you. If you enjoyed this reading, I appreciate the likes and the thumbs up. Until next time, guys.